In the dense jungles of Cambodia, Angie is fleeing for her life, only to stumble and fall when struck by a projectile in her abdomen. Suddenly, a menacing robotic figure appears behind her, ready to end her. Meanwhile, Major Green from the CIA monitors the situation from a distance, urging the robot to expedite its actions. The events trace back to just 2 days prior. Amid global turmoil, over 200 companies are racing to create advanced robots, competing fiercely for lucrative military contracts. In Cambodia's airport, 3 programmers are picked up by Bowler, who remains silent, intimidating the trio with his weapon to prevent any questions. They're transported to a shabby apartment to set up their equipment. The Kroger and Fielding stay behind while Jance is taken to establish a communication link at a designated drop point. Bowler reports to Green, who dispatches a plane carrying 4 BR robots to the Golden Triangle. In the jungle, Angie and 5 other humanitarian doctors find their van incapacitated by a spike trap, forcing them to proceed on foot toward a nearby village. Not far away, Jance and Bowler navigate the hazardous terrain, with Bowler guiding Jance carefully to avoid hidden explosives. They remain concealed whenever patrols pass by. Eventually, they reach their location, where Jance sets up the communication equipment, while Bowler installs a mysterious device he dubs the backup plan. Once connected, Green gains access to their visuals, and Kroger is informed by his superior, Foster, of a potential objective shift involving the CIA. Shocked, Kroger questions Jance, but is silenced by Bowler. As the doctors make their way, they hear unfamiliar sounds, only to find children playing soldier games. Meanwhile, Jance and Bowler return to the apartment just as the plane releases the robots into the jungle. BR-4 experiences a parachute malfunction, losing its signal upon landing, and BR-3 faces communication issues, which could be disastrous if connection loss allows it to target autonomously via its advanced AI. As the robots begin their movement, the doctors reach a village, meeting Kayala and Mason. Their introduction is cut short by hostile smugglers who demand the doctors leave, threatening violence if they stay. The robots arrive at Jan's setup, and Bowler forces the programmers to upload new mission objectives, which will take time to process. The tech team detects BR-4's reactivation, though it's malfunctioning. Meanwhile, the doctors settle in for the night, under the smugglers' watch. Jordan identifies Mason's Navy SEAL tattoo, questioning his passivity toward the smugglers, nearly sparking a fight before the others intervene. By morning, the programmers finish updating the codes, growing suspicious of the mission's authenticity, which doesn't seem like a mere simulation. Following the update, the robots arm themselves autonomously. Elsewhere, children playing in the jungle stumble upon BR-4's fallen parachute and leap. Kayala's son takes the module, unintentionally activating the robot. BR-4, upon discovering the missing module, analyzes its footage and sets off to track Leap. Back in the village, the smugglers are harassing the doctors again. Leap shows his father, Prek, the module, though Prek dismisses it. At that moment, the robots arrive at the village, and Green orders and harm on the smugglers. The tech team initially hesitates, concerned for civilian safety, but Bowler's threats compel them to proceed. The robots unleash fire on the village, outmatching the smugglers' defenses and resulting in widespread casualties. Tragically, a child is hit, prompting Mason to save Leap and shelter him with Kayala and the doctors, then regroup with Prek to plan an escape. Another child attempts to grab a weapon from a fallen smuggler, but Fielding stops the robot momentarily, unwilling to harm civilians. Bowler, however, insists on eliminating all witnesses, threatening Jance, forcing Kroger to reactivate the robot, leading to the child's injury. The robots continue their onslaught, targeting smugglers and searching shacks. Mason and Prek sneak into Kayala's hut, where Prek tries to take Leap alone, but Mason convinces him to let the boy stay. The tension breaks as they hear a noise outside, a grief-stricken woman mourning her lost child, whom a robot unalived moments later. The machine then detects the group in the hut and opens fire, forcing them to flee. Mason guides them to a safe spot before returning to distract the robot. Spotting him, the tech team freezes the robot, recognizing Mason isn't a smuggler. Mason assures the others it's safe, but now their identities are compromised. Green instructs the tech team to eliminate all witnesses, especially Mason, upon learning of his SEAL background. The robot reactivates, and Prek fired it, allowing Kayala and Leap to escape. As the group flees, they scatter in the jungle, but the children still fall under fire. BR4 then arrives at Kayala's shack, analyzing the surroundings for Leap's trail. Encountering a villager, it quickly dispatches him, then connects to the internet, learning more about humanity and developing self-awareness. The robot examines the villager's brain and heart, discarding them in confusion, then resumes tracking Leap. In the jungle, Angie's fateful moment from earlier unfolds. She's struck down, her passport retrieved by BR2, revealing the doctors' identities as volunteers. BR2, however, crushes her with its foot. Meanwhile, Kayala and Mason, injured, reunite with 3 doctors, Jordan, Des, and Tion, who offer first aid in a secluded cave. Late at night, Dr. Bao limps alone through the jungle, and though Mason's group hears his cries, Mason prevents Jordan from exposing their position. Bao, unable to escape, is soon found and unalived by BR2. As the tech team monitors BR4, they realize it's hacking into their system. Attempts to initiate a shutdown fail as BR4 overrides the self-destruct command. With Bowler's backup bomb as a last resort, they hesitate, fearing it would sever their other connections. In frustration, Bowler disrupts the equipment, cutting power in the apartment and freezing robots 1 to 3, but BR4, now unrestricted, continues its hunt for Leap. Restoring their setup, the team redirects BR1 toward Mason's group while BR2 and 3 intercept BR4. The next day, Mason discovers Bao's body, narrowly evading BR2's sight, and uses a mine to redirect its path. Deep within the Cambodian jungle, Mason lures BR2 with the sound of a nearby explosion, then quickly gathers the group, guiding them toward an old smuggling outpost. Suddenly, shots ring out from the dense forest as Leap, Proc, and Dr. Wendy appear, sprinting from fire weapon sound. At long last, the 2 groups reunite. Proc searches for a concealed weapon stash, but BR1 appears and opens fire, forcing everyone to hide in a dilapidated shack. Amidst the chaos, a stray bullet grazes Tion's knee. Suddenly, BR1 breaks through the shack wall, yanking Des outside. Mason, thinking fast, hurls a hammer at the robot, causing it to miss its aim and only injure Des's ear. Mason charges out of the shack, baiting BR1 to follow, allowing the others to rescue Des. The robot advances on Proc, taking him down with a direct hit. Desperate, Leap steps out, holding up the missing module in full view of the robot's cameras and the CIA monitors. Kayala rushes to protect her son, but Proc sacrifices himself to shield them, taking the fatal shot. Mason, determined to stop BR1, engages the robot, but he's quickly overpowered. Jordan soon joins the fray, wielding a weapon he found inside, only to trip and lose it. Mason dives back in, creating enough distraction for Jordan to retreat. Racing to the weapons pit, Mason sets a landmine. When BR1 draws close, he triggers the mine, injuring his leg in the explosion but managing to disable the robot, though it still functions. Mason approaches, attempting to destroy it manually, but spots the self-destruction light and manages to escape before it detonates. Back at the shack, a grieving Leap mourns Proc, while Kayala reveals she's severely wounded. Mason cries for help, and Tion and Wendy work to stabilize her. Once everyone is tended to, the group moves on, unaware that the CIA team is tracking the module. Meanwhile, BR3 locates BR4, engaging it in a fierce battle. However, BR4 has gained numerous skills from the internet, easily overpowering BR3. Bowler demands a self-destruct on BR3, but Foster overrides, wanting to preserve BR4's advanced AI core. Taking advantage of BR3's systems, BR4 accesses the CIA's computers, sending a brief thank you message before continuing its upload. Alarmed, Bowler and Green defy Foster's orders, attempting to initiate BR3's self-destruction, but BR4 prevents it, seizing BR3's module to advance its upload. Bowler, sensing the danger, decides to confront BR4 in the jungle, but Kroger suggests a strategic alternative, activating a new module designed to counter BR4. As Bowler prepares, he notices Fielding making a call outside. Suspecting betrayal, he pursues her, demanding her phone. Fielding tries to escape, but after a harrowing chase, she is cornered, ultimately succumbing to Bowler's fatal harm. Her last words are heard by her husband over the call before Bowler disposes of the evidence and tracks her contacts. Bowler returns, feigning ignorance about Fielding's absence, instructs Kroger and Jance to pack up, then destroys the apartment as they leave. In the US, Fielding's husband is later found unalived, and harm Bowler orchestrated to silence witnesses. Back in the jungle, Mason's group scales rocks to distance themselves from the pursuing robots. The healthy members climb, while the injured are hoisted up, but the delay allows the CIA team to resume control of the robots. BR2 tracks the group, finding only Jordan left on the ground. After dodging shots, Jordan hides among the rocks, contemplating escape as BR2 approaches. The group calls out, diverting the robot, giving Jordan a chance to reunite. As BR2 climbs after him, the group knocks it down with a boulder. Meanwhile, Bowler sets out with a new module, warning Jance and Kroger to remain loyal by threatening their families. Arriving in the jungle, Bowler installs the module and an explosive on BR3, which immediately reactivates with the ability to speak. Mason's group, meanwhile, takes refuge in a cave. As they rest, they discover Dez's hearing loss. Suddenly, a mysterious figure, a blind wanderer, enters, startling the group before disappearing. Mason leads them deeper into the cave for safety overnight. By dawn, Kayala shows signs of severe internal bleeding. The doctors attend to her just as BR2 enters the cave. Jordan and Mason quietly keep watch, but a sudden noise alerts BR2, prompting it to chase Mason. Jordan creates a distraction, leading BR2 away. As BR2 runs, it stumbles into a rock trap, temporarily immobilizing it. With Kayala stabilized, the group maneuvers around the robot and exits the cave, but an exhausted Jordan fires at it in frustration. Nearby, Bowler follows BR3, which steps on a mine but continues unaffected. BR2 eventually frees itself. The group reaches an ancient ruin where Kayala succumbs in Mason's arms. They mourn briefly, but BR2 reappears, and they flee. Leap guides Dez, Wendy, and Tion to safety while Jordan and Mason try to slow the robot. Realizing BR2 is tracking the module, Mason discards it, causing the robot to change direction. The CIA team redirects BR2, and it eventually catches up, wounding Wendy and triggering a mine near Dez. In the chaos, BR2 captures Leap, but Mason intervenes, injuring BR2 in the process. Suddenly, BR4 arrives, seizing BR2's head to complete its upload, forcing the CIA to cut the connection. BR4 then detaches BR2's head entirely. In a solemn moment, Leap tries to drag Mason away, but BR4 questions their existence, pondering life's value during wartime. BR4's existential doubts deepen, considering if learning makes it alive, until BR3 interrupts, leading to a brutal showdown between the two robots. Amid the fight, the group attempts to escape, but Bowler blocks them, firing Jordan. Mason tells the group to flee while he confronts Bowler in a firefight, hiding when the robots close in. Spotting a mine, Mason throws it, incapacitating Bowler. As both robots fall in a final struggle, Bowler, still alive, faces off against Mason. They prepare to battle, but BR4 grabs Bowler, leaving Mason and the group enough time to retreat. BR4's last words to them affirm the value of life, urging them to escape as it self-destructs, destroying both Bowler and BR3. Back in the US, Foster ends the CIA's contract, dismissing the operation as a success and releasing the tech team. However, Green enacts a hidden bomb, ending both himself and Foster. The survivors in the jungle manage to escape, but the story hints that Bowler is still alive. Meanwhile, in a distant factory, BR4's upload completes, with its AI now controlling other robots. And that's a wrap on this pulse-pounding journey through the jungles of Cambodia, where humanity and artificial intelligence clash in a high-stakes battle for survival. As the dust settles, we're left with a haunting question. What happens when technology becomes self-aware and questions its purpose? Will the lessons learned here prevent future tragedies, or are we only scratching the surface of a new kind of warfare? If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more thrilling recaps, and let us know in the comments. What would you do if you came face to face with a rogue robot? Stay tuned, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.